Hello, folks. This is Mayo Best here with the Pop-Up Shop Academy, where you earn while you learn and grow. We specialize in profit optimization. But today, more importantly, I have a guest here on our show where we're going to be learning about I Refuse to Fail with the notorious, infamous Mr. Carl Lucchi, folks. Mr. Carl Lucchi, how you doing, sir?
Great. Thanks, Mayo. I appreciate this.
Awesome. So Carl, first of all, I want to thank you for being on the show today and helping some of our viewers and guests to really see what you do and find out what I know about you already. And then we're going to introduce them to, which is the greatness of the I Refuse to Fail program. So if you could, sir, could you please tell us a little bit about I Refuse to Fail and how and why you started the group?
Okay. Well, I got to do a little bit of history first. I've been a business consultant since about 2003, but in 2010, I found out about networking back in 2010, and I had been a business developer, and I thought there's got to be something to this. So I met a fellow that had a group, and then I decided to develop my own group because I found out, even as a business consultant, Mayo, you're not going to believe this, but I don't know everything. And I figured if I had a networking organization, I'd be able to meet a lot of people that I could refer out to help my customers or my clients. And so I started the group, and it was a local face-to-face. There was no Zoom back then. And so I had about 6 or 8 locations in the Tampa Bay area. It was called Tampa Bay Networkers, and it's still there today, tampabaynetworkers.com. And but I was actually doing this for about 7 years, and I was doing it for reasons that I knew was going to help me, and it worked for me. But I discovered I was sitting in this very chair right now in 2017, and a light bulb came on. I thought, this is not working. It's not working. You know, the group concept is not working. The way people were doing it's not working. And so I personally quit networking. I mean, in my own organization, I stopped, and because I don't want to do anything that's not working, right? So when I was a kid, I had always had this thing. My parents would buy a wind-up clock, and they'd come home and they'd find out it all over the floor because I tore it apart because I wanted to see what made it work, right? And then I couldn't put it back together. So I was in trouble a lot. So basically what I did with networking is I said, you know, the concept is good, but I think the conventional way it's being done is not good. And I think a lot of it is not the people's fault. It's not the group's fault. It's just that they're kind of like sheep following a herd of sheep. They're doing it the same way they've been shown, and everybody is kind of going off the cliff. And I thought there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better formula. So in 2017, I started researching, and I spent about 1.5 years doing that. And I came up with about 6 or 8 areas of networking. I'm not going to go into it, but that I really think people are not using properly, or just downright not doing it right. Because they've all been taught to sell. I was taught to sell. And at first I thought that's what it was. It's a place where you go to meet people, and then you sell them, or you get them to give you referrals, right? So I thought, you know, why isn't this work? Because, and the reason is, Mayo, is that everybody wants to buy, nobody wants to be sold. So if you got everybody going there, not buying, and you got everybody going there selling, what happens? Nothing. So why is that? What do we need to do to fix that? So I came up with a formula. It's a very simple formula. But the bottom line is networking is a simple concept. It's not an easy one. And either it needs to be an integral part of your business or not. So I put together this formula, and I thought I need to test it out. So I started having workshops, and there were 2.5-hour workshops. And I got to tell you, people's jaws were just dropping. They were just dropping. They were, you know, my gosh, Carl, you know, why are you saying that? Why are you saying don't do an elevator pitch? Why are you saying don't pass out business cards? Why are you saying don't ask for referrals? Why are you saying don't do all the things that we've been told to do? And then I would explain to them why, and we would do it in a question and answer form, and I would be challenged, and that was great. I loved it because that helped me learn, but it made me understand that I was on the right track, because people who had attended the workshops were coming back to me and said, Carl, I'm networking less, but I'm networking better, and I'm getting better results. So that was like gold to me. So I figured, okay, I'm onto something. And that was in 2019. And what happened next? COVID hit. So I no longer could do the workshops. And so I'm kind of semi-retired. So I thought, well, I'm just going to kind of go about my way. So I found an online platform, and they were forming groups and meetings and things like that. And I thought, maybe I could do a group that is designed to not force people to do it, but subliminally make them network properly. Because the requirements I will have in here is that you follow this formula. And it'll work because I know it works. So I started.
Can I just interrupt you really quick?
Sure.
I have to say this. When I came to your networking group, there was something that you were doing that I think is so important with networking. And it wasn't until I actually got to your networking group that I'd actually seen this. And I want to let you kind of piggyback on it, but I noticed that you had a very value-centric approach in terms of you're really concerned in making sure that people are bringing value to the networking and making sure that they share that value with their prospects, so to speak, the other folks that are in the group, which is a very different sort of take than I was accustomed to when it comes to networking. And I was curious, is that why you're getting some of the success that you get from the folks that attend, or is it something else you're doing in the secret sauce?
No, well, it's part of the secret sauce. Part of that is subliminal. I'm not going to outwardly tell them that, but I'm telling you that, and I guess everybody will know now, is that first of all, if you're not bringing value, why are you in business? Number one. And number two is I think the misconception that networking is a social activity. Okay, it is social, but it should be 90% business and 10% social. Not, I've gone to so many of these quick connect things and speed networking things where they say, well, we're going to start off with an icebreaker question. What is your favorite color? Okay, well, what does that have to do with anything? What you're doing is you're being social. If you want to be social, go to a bar. Okay, there's a lot of people there you can be social with. You might even pick up a date, or might even even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. So you can do things socially. But I think there's a better, more direct approach that makes it more professional for you and the other person. And then how you conduct yourself and what it takes to actually help people. Okay. Now, so I formed the I Refuse to Fail partnership with that in mind. And of course, we have the 1530 events that you attended that I don't control people. I can't control people. I can't tell them what to do. And I listen to what they do, but I try to steer them to do something correctly during that event. But you can't do that in an hour, But then I encourage them to look at the I Refuse to Fail partnership to possibly make it better for them. And one component that I didn't think about until late 2020, I think, or 2021, when I was developing this, was that because we're online, we could add a component to this that no other networking organization I know of, at least right now, offers. That every one of we call them partners. It's a partnership instead of a membership. In my mind, a partnership is where it belongs to everybody and everybody helps contribute to it and take from it. Okay. A membership is paying for the right to attend. Okay. And I want it to be everybody's, not mine. And we make changes all the time to the partnership. But the one thing that is missing, I think, from conventional networking is marketing and promotion. Now, the networking aspect is not supposed to be selling. But what we do for the partnership is, because we're online, is we literally do an interview, kind of like what we're doing right now, Mayo. And this goes on social media, on everybody's social media, and gets distributed to thousands of people every month through social media. And we use a software program for that, so you don't have to spend hours doing it.
That's awesome.
And the other aspect of it is I found out that free doesn't work. When things are free and people have no skin in the game, they won't do anything. I mean, they'll stay home and watch reruns of Golden Girls before they'll go network or do something for their business. And so what we do is we ask people to pay. I'm talking about, if you can't afford this, you can't afford to be in business. I mean, it's just a low fee to make sure people have got some risk. But on the other side of it is we pay people when they do it right. If people will help other people and follow the formula, then we literally pay them. So this really should cost them annually, should cost them nothing. Okay. And it's not thousands of dollars, and it's hardly hundreds of dollars to get into this. But basically the idea and the concept, it's like I tell everybody about anything in business. It's you either do it or don't do it. Go do something else. Networking may not be for you. Go to it. If you want to sell, go to a trade show, get a pop-up, for heaven's sakes.
Right.
Sell people, because they're going there to buy. Nobody in networking has ever told me they went to a meeting to buy anything. Right? But they don't want to admit that they're there to sell something.
That's true.
So that's the reason why I formed it. That's why we're growing it, and we're growing it slowly, because we don't accept everybody in, because I want only the best people that are going to walk the walk, not just talk the talk.
So let's talk about that. What are some of the requirements for folks? Because there's, I definitely kind of got the feeling too that this is definitely not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Who is it that you're looking for, and what are the requirements for them to become a partner?
Okay. It's really pretty simple. Number one, participate, show up, be involved. Don't just do it as an extra thing to do. Okay. Understand that we're in this for business. We have fun. We are social. We joke around, but our primary goal is business and to help people in their business. The main philosophy behind the whole thing is what Zig Ziglar said back there behind me, is you can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. So you have to have the mindset that you're there to help other people. It's not about you. Okay. And if you have that, and you can follow that, and you can convince me that that's where you're at, then there's a damn good chance that you're going to qualify for this. But if you're planning on joining something, we don't even want your damn money. I don't want you to invest in this or anything else if you're not going to follow through. I mean, it's just like anything else you do in life, So it's really pretty easy, but I do have a one-on-one with everybody to find out if it's something for them. If they want exposure, maybe they don't want exposure to thousands of people every month. If they don't, then keep doing what you've been doing, expect different results. I don't care.
Right.
I mean, really, I hate to be that blunt, but that's the truth.
As we come in for a landing here, I just want to say one of the things that I definitely appreciated about your networking group, it really did remind me a lot of the principles from, if those have actually read the book, The Go-Giver. A lot of those principles, those fundamental principles, I definitely, believe in and resonate with, and I believe you do too. And I saw that kind of in the atmosphere of your networking group, which is really what made it special and really made it something different than what I've been accustomed to. So with that said, look, first of all, I want to thank you, Carl, for coming on the show today. This is awesome, folks. How can folks, by the way, get in contact with you to be able to gain access to the opportunity to join your network?
Well, it's really pretty easy. If you just go to IRefuseToFail.com, which is right up there above my head, I believe.
Awesome.
There's a form that they can contact me either for a one-on-one, or if they want to go to a free meeting or a free event, we've got that. And we're not in that. We don't sell you that. We don't even talk about I Refuse to Fail. It's a 15-30 event where you actually get interviewed and you talk about your business to everyone. So you can contact me directly that way through the website, or you can go to one of the events, and then, we can speak after that.
Awesome. Folks, there you have it. Carl Lucchi for the I Refuse to Fail network. This is an awesome, very special, very different networking group. If you've ever attended one, I have attended one. I've gone actually more than once. It's phenomenal. So if you think that you cut the mustard, then you're definitely going to want to check Carl out. Carl, thanks again for coming on today, and I look forward to coming to the next networking event myself.
I really appreciate you, Mayo. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right, folks, take care. God bless.